Live from Hazard, Kentucky, this is Jammin John's Wrestling News. Here's your news for Friday, May 3rd, 2019. Rebbie Hardy, the wife of Matt Hardy, gave her thoughts on the recent Lio Rush news stories via her Facebook page. Rebbie Hardy said of the situation, "F that guy. Gotta keep it PG here on JJWN, as you know." A Facebook user replied back to Rebbie by saying, "Rebbie, I have always loved you for how diplomatic you are." Rebbie Hardy said, "He is trash. Always been trash. Trying to bite my tongue, but damn." Also, when HealByNature.com decided to check in with Rebbie Hardy on her comments about Lio Rush, Rebbie Hardy defended herself by saying, "He's a witch. Again, gotta keep it PG." And staying on the topic of the controversy surrounding Lio Rush and WWE, Chris Jericho responded to a fan on Twitter that was defending Lio Rush over issues with carrying the bags of veteran talents. The fan wrote and later deleted the following message: "I'm sorry, but if I was a big star in WWE, I would never make the young guys carry my bags. It's an exercise in humiliation designed by bitter mid-carders who need to constantly be told how great they are because they have little accomplishment to do it for them." Chris Jericho's response to the fan: "Key statement there is if I was a big star in the WWE. You're not. So you don't know the respect and dedication you need to make it in WWE. I never once made a young guy carry my bags, but I was shown respect every day. To disrespect the vets in any way is taboo in our biz," and I can tell you from personal experience of being in the wrestling business that Chris Jericho is 100% right. In an interview with TalkSport.com, Seth Rollins commented on why he thinks Dean Ambrose left WWE by saying, "Oh God, that's so tough to say. You know, he's really someone that keeps his cards close to the vest, and even at the back end when I was trying to pry into what he was getting himself into after this, I think the cool thing was he didn't even really know. He didn't really have any big plans. For him, he just wanted the freedom to make his own decisions for the first time in the last 8 or 9 years. It'll be cool to see where he ends up or where he takes his talents, whether that be to another wrestling promotion or somewhere else in the entertainment field. Or, you know, maybe he just wants to sit at home, play with his dogs, be with his wife, and have a family. Who really knows?" Rollins continued on by saying, "I'm excited as a friend just to see what he's going to get himself into because he's one of the most talented dudes I've ever come across, and he's got a lot to offer, so I can't even begin to speculate." During his recent podcast, Booker T commented on reports that Sasha Banks is unhappy with WWE by saying, "My take on this is that a lot of times things aren't made up sometimes to what you think they are. You can think things are a certain way when you get there, but when you finally get there, you realize that it is not what you thought it was. I remember a guy by the name of Yvonne Riley when I first started wrestling back in the day. The guy used to play for the Houston Oilers back in the day, and when he got out of football and wanted to get into wrestling, and he realized that pro wrestling is nowhere near where he thought he was out in a heartbeat. But there are those ones like Sasha Banks, who has all that talent and rises up to the top level and gets there, and then realizes that it is not what she thought it was because the reason is that it is all not about you. It is never going to be about you. I'm going to tell you right now, Sasha Banks has had more life-changing moments than so many that have walked into this business. She is made, and she can do anything she wants as far as this business goes from what she has gotten from this business. So I don't understand it. I could just say that. I don't understand it. I don't understand a lot of this stuff that goes on these days. We are in a totally different world right now so far as the pro wrestling business goes." Booker T continued on by saying, "Hey man, for me, it was all about the money and taking care of my family and to create moments along the way and memories to be able to touch people and at the same time being able to change their lives. Thanks to WrestlingInc.com for the quotes." WrestleCade founder Tracy Myers issued a statement regarding Kurt Angle being pulled from the event by WWE. Tracy Myers said, "In our 8-year history, the announcement of Angle's appearance was one of our most popular. We were obviously excited and so were the fans. Then, out of the blue, we received an email saying that Kurt had to cancel his WrestleCade weekend appearance because WWE told them it competes directly with them. While I had read that WWE had pulled both Angle and The Undertaker from the StarCast 2 event being held in Las Vegas on May the 23rd through the 26th, I was still shocked. An agreement was made in place with Kurt, the requested deposit was paid, and the marketing blitz was in full swing. Now the fans are being penalized, and it's heartbreaking. Last year, more than 7,000 fans from around the world were in attendance, and we expect even more this year. We have already announced a rare appearance both in and out of the ring by the legendary Great Muta. We've also announced a night with Dustin Rhodes, a WCCW reunion panel, and we'll have at least 125 wrestling stars from several eras represented. Our fans are the greatest, and it's going to be an amazing weekend. And finally, here on Jammin' John's Wrestling News, former WWE star Ken Shamrock and new Impact World Champion Brian Cage teased the match on Twitter. It all started when Scott D'Amore tweeted on Twitter, "Am I the only one curious to see what would happen if the legendary Ken Shamrock and current Impact Wrestling World Champion Brian Cage squared off?" Ken Shamrock replied back to Scott D'Amore by saying, "Let me help with the curiosity. The outlook is as follows. 100% probability of snap, crackle, and pop, followed by heavy precipitation from Brian Cage as I stand over him as the new Impact Wrestling World Champion." Brian Cage fired back at Ken Shamrock by saying, "Predicted outcomes could have strong percentage of probability minus the standing over me as the new Impact Champ, but since I'm a machine, your percentage goes way down. I got a degree in Steiner math, so I know the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you." I can't believe he really said that. Ken Shamrock replied back to Brian Cage by saying, "A machine is man-made, has faults, and can only take so much. Sounds like it's about time for the world's most dangerous man to break the machine." Brian Cage fired back at Ken Shamrock by saying, "Many have tried, all have failed. I got a lot of respect and admiration for you, Ken, and it'd be an honor, but I think your time and ability to be able to break the machine has come and gone. Right now, you look like the only things you're breaking is Jack and crap." Though he didn't say crap, of course, got to keep it PG, and Jack left town. Pretty interesting conversation between the two on Twitter. That is your news for Friday, May 3rd, 2019. Check back here Monday for another Jammin' John's Wrestling News Flash Briefing on Amazon Alexa devices, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, and iTunes. Going to be a great weekend this weekend for yours truly. Got the 145th Kentucky Derby happening tomorrow. It's a huge thing for my home state of Kentucky, and going to pick a horse here later and hopefully win. You know, in all the years that I've been watching the Kentucky Derby, which has been since I was 6 or 7 years old, every single horse that I've picked, folks, to win it has never won. So maybe this will be the year that I will finally win. And of course, it is National Star Wars Day. You know, May the 4th be with you. And I want to take this moment to send good vibes and well wishes out to the family of Peter Mayhew, who was Chewbacca in the Star Wars universe. He passed away on April the 30th. I found out the news of his passing last night. Just such a horrible thing to hear about. Chewbacca was one of my favorites in the Star Wars universe. May the Force be with you, Mr. Mayhew. Thank you so much for all those great memories in cinema and for my childhood as well. Follow me on Twitter at John Caldwell, JONCOLWELL. Follow me on Instagram, The Jammin' John. If you would like to sponsor Jammin' John's Wrestling News or your wrestling promotion, wanting to get your next big event out through the awesome power of Amazon Alexa, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, and iTunes, you can shoot me an email, jzcaldwell@gmail.com. That's JZCOLWELL@gmail.com. Big shout out to Ryan Hurdle and Tony Nelson for subscribing to my Patreon. You too can subscribe to me by going to patreon.com/jamminjohn. I have free packages on there ranging from free to $7. Not a whole lot of money. I would really appreciate it if you supported me a little bit financially. Once again, that's patreon.com/jamminjohn. This is Jammin' John saying thanks, goodbye, and have a great weekend, everybody.